Starting my speech in 3, 2, 1. As we know that consuming and producing meat is something that is debatable nowadays. Many people have their own reasons in order to oppose and also support these decisions. But remember that what things that have been already delivered by the government sides are not always true. Here, I will also deliver some points in order to counter the government side's opinion. First of all, the government said that in order to support the stopping productions and consuming the meat, they can ask or request the industry which process the meat to shift their productions to the other field, for example, for the plant-based product. But remember that actually this thing is not the easy one to be applied, because every industry has already put a lot of money to the investment. For example, like the technology, the building, and also the skill and training for the employee as well. And for sure, when they are asked to stop their productions, they will suffer a big loss. And besides that, we also remember that establishing a new industry is not a cheap action, because we need a lot of fund or a lot of money to do the research and development process, and more than that, we also need to buy a new technology and equipment as well. Besides, remember, for the youth company, they also involve more than thousands employees, and if they should stop their productions, it means it will cause a lot of unemployment. Now, let's talk about the opinion that killing the animal or the producing meat is the immoral actions. They say that for the producing the meat can cause a pain for the animal. However, this thing can be overcome by several things. For example, like setting a standard for cutting the meat, or you can use the anesthesia as well so that the animal will not feel the pain. Besides, we also remember that there are several techniques also which can kill the animal without pain. For example, like cutting the main artery for the animal so that the animal can die immediately without feeling pain for the long time. For the other point, remember that not all of people can consume the vegetable and fruit as well. Some of them do not like certain kind of vegetable because of the taste, or perhaps because the texture as well. And let's imagine if they cannot eat the meat, and the vegetable and also fruits are only the resource of vitamin and mineral, they will lack this kind of nutrition, and it also causes the health problem for them. More than that, we also remember that many people are aware with their appearance. They want to create a huge mass, for example. However, with only consuming the vegetable and fruit, this goal could not be achieved efficiently and maximally. Move to the other point. We know that most people like to consume meat because of the texture and also the taste. And when we could not eat meat anymore, the only ingredients that could be processed in only fruit and vegetable, for example, like eggplants, gluten, and also the mushroom. And however, this process will require the high fund, because the biotechnology process and also the technology as well. And besides that, it also requires a certain period of time as well. That's why the price could be higher. Now, let's move to the other point about the environmental problem. The government said that by the consuming meat, it will cause many problems for the environment, because it can need more space and then cause several pollutant or producing several pollutant like the carbon dioxide and so on that can endanger our environment. But they forget that consuming the vegetable and fruit also can raise a same problem, or we can say that it could be a worse problem for the environment. For example, the consuming vegetable and fruits. In order to substitute the meat to get the equal amount of the nutrition, need us to consume 3 until 5 times of vegetable and fruit from their normal amount. And for sure, it means we will require more fuel, and yeah, it will cause more pollution as well. For example, like it produces more carbon dioxide because the amount of tree or the forest will be reduced as well. Besides, we also remember, in order to producing a high quality of the vegetable and fruit, the farmer usually needs the fertilizer as well. And fertilizer also contain the nitrogen. If the nitrogen amount is too much, and then it could be brought by the water to the river, for example, or sea, it can cause the water pollutions. The one thing that we can see is by the overpopulation for the water hyacinths. And besides, it also can kill a lot of fish in the sea as well because of the nitrogen substance. And the last point, we can talk about the imbalanced ecological system. We know that when we don't consume the meat, it will cause the overpopulation of animal as well, and the environment become imbalanced. That's why I brought to oppose this motion.